Today we're talking about the new Googan rods, everything that you guys need to know about these two rods right here, right now. Alrighty guys, now before we get into detail on these rods, I want to go over really quickly who the Googan squad is. A few years back, a couple of guys started YouTube fishing channels. They started to make way. Long story short, they all got together into a content house and created the Googan squad. Now, the Googan squad consists of John B., Alex Perrick, Rob Turkla, Andrew Flair, and Justin Rackley. Now later on, One Rod One Reel came in, and now Lojo Fishing's in, and they're kind of a big content creation group. These guys are arguably the pioneers of YouTube fishing and one of the biggest reasons that the fishing industry is booming right now. Now, we're not gonna discredit Catch Co here. This rod, so you guys know, is a collaboration. It consists of the Googan squad and Catch Co. If you guys don't know who Catch Co is, they are a company that makes a lot of the products that you see here on YouTube. Some of the products that the Googan squad makes, they collaborate a lot. And they've made some really popular baits out there like the bull shad. So that's a quick little background for those of you who don't know who the Googan squad is, you don't know who Catch Co is. This rod is a collaborative project between the Googan squad and Catch Co, and that's how these came about. Now we're gonna get into the rods. With these new Googan squad rods, they offer it in two different tiers. You have the cheaper option, which is the Green Series rod. This guy is priced at $99.99, so $100. And then next up, you have the second rod that they offer, and that is the Googan Squad Gold Series. This guy is priced at $149.99, so you're looking at $150 for this rod. What's cool about these rods is each rod has a purpose based on its size. They made each and every rod have a specific purpose, and they even labeled it. Now, this is a very minute, very small detail. It is super beneficial to those people that are learning how to fish, that are getting more experience when it comes to fishing, or it really just makes the user experience 10 times easier when you can walk into a store, know what kind of angler you are, and be able to get a rod based on what you like to do. That is huge. No companies are really doing that. No companies are really pushing that. Like the fact that I can go in the store, pick up this rod, look at the little tag that it comes with. And so for example, this one is the Muscle. It tells me the specs on the rod, and it tells me exactly what lures it's recommended to fish with. If you are somebody who fishes, you know, jigs or Cincos, and that's typically what you like, you can walk right into the store, find the rod that suits your needs, and get out of there. I know some of you are probably shaking your head like, oh, well, you should know that a 7.5 heavy is for frogs. Like, not everybody knows that. You can almost go into the store on your own or on the website, look at this feature and just pick out what you want. It's really beneficial, and I love that a lot. And yes, they do offer this rod in spinning and casting, and they pretty much have a size that will fit your needs for all types of fishing. Alrighty, so now that we talked about what they offer as rods, let's talk about the price point. I'm not gonna give you my exact opinion on what I think of how much they cost just yet, but let's talk about that $50 difference, right? Is there really a difference between these two rods? Are they just slapping a bigger price tag on it because one looks more slick than the other? And as much as I'd love to go into detail about what I know, let's just go right to facts. And Carl's Bait and Tackle literally posts it on their website for you. You can look at the difference between the two. And I think that's really saying something. The fact that, you know, a company's willing to just give you the answer right in front of you on their website is huge. So let's do a quick comparison and talk about these simple details. So looking at both rods, we're gonna start off with the first thing that they have listed here, and that is the guides. It looks like on the Green Series, you're gonna get ceramic guides, and on the Gold Series, you're gonna get seed guides. Being a little bit familiar with these types of guides, yes, there is a price difference and a little bit of a quality difference. I don't know how drastic. Going into the blank, we're gonna look at the materials that they're made out of. These rods are carbon, and with the Green rod, you're looking at a 2430 carbon, and with the Gold Series rod, you're looking at a 3040 carbon. For those of you who don't know what that is or what that means, the easiest way I can put it is these are the tiers of carbon that they are made out of. One is a little bit lighter and stronger than the other. If you guys want like kind of a mental comparison, if you've ever seen like IM8 or IM7 on a graphite rod, it's very similar to that. It's just a different tier of the material that it is made out of, but carbon goes by 2430, 3040, so on and so forth. And then moving on, we have the grip that is on the rod. The green series, you guys have EVA foam grip with a little bit of cork. And then on the gold rod, you have pure cork. Now, there is a price difference between cork and EVA. Some people like cork. It's a little bit fancier. It definitely feels different than EVA, but you got that. And then the only other comparison between the two is the green rod has a tape measure basically printed on it. So that's the only difference. You got a couple little different features in both that the other one doesn't have, but for the most part, between different guides, a different grade carbon, and grips, yeah, I think that would add up to about 50 bucks to look at the two. So let's talk about close look. Like, let's put these rods in our hands and let's actually see, you know, what do they feel like? What do I think about them? Because I know you guys are dying to know. I know some of you know that I work with Catchco for some stuff. Yes, I do videos and stuff with Catchco. I'm not over here just like saying this. They didn't pay me to say this, none of this stuff. I don't have any kind of connection with the Googan squad. I genuinely feel very strong about these rods. Now, let's talk about why. I know this sounds crazy, but when you put a fishing rod in your hand, you almost know immediately its worth. You can tell the difference between putting a $50 rod in your hand and a $100 rod in your hand. And the second that I put this in the palm of my hand, I was mind blown. I fish with a lot of rods, guys. I worked at a tackle shop and got to test rods left and right. These things feel as good as some of the nicest rods on the market. I'm not gonna shout out any brands, but I like this better. It feels better, and it feels lighter. It feels just overall great. What they did with the new design in these grips is amazing. I've never felt a rod that just felt so good in the palm of my hand. And this is kind of my argument. If it doesn't feel good in the palm of your hand, the second you pick it up and the second you start playing with it, odds are you're probably not gonna buy it. So overall, with a fishing rod, you know, the number one thing that I have to say is it's got to feel good in the hand. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and speak for sensitivity and backbone and things like that because I have yet to be able to take one out and fish with it. Now, calm down, calm down. I know some of you guys are going to get mad and be like, whoa, dude, you're reviewing a rod and you haven't even fished with it yet? Well, it's because it's 25 degrees here in Ohio and there is snow on the ground. Everything's frozen. But there's plenty of videos on the internet that you guys can look up about these rods as far as people fishing with them. The gold rod, it is sexy, baby. I'll be honest with you. I love this rod. It looks super good. There's something about just like a black and, you know, gold rod that just really just makes me feel good. I love the clean, slick look. I'll be honest with you, I don't love the green one. I'm not a huge fan of the green, but I do understand why they did it. It's kind of like the more fun version. We're the Googan squad, our logo is green. It kind of fits the vibe of, you know, what the company is and things like that. So a couple of features that I noticed about these rods we'll just talk about that I, you know, once I got them in the palm of my hands that I really liked was right off the bat, they have a locking reel seat. Both rods have this, the gold has it, the green has it. So you're getting similar features. Even if you are concerned about the price, yes, they both have that feature right there. When you get a reel in there, it feels great. It doesn't shake around. It's locked and ready to fish. The ruler or the tape measure on the rod is a game changer. Don't know why, you know, rod companies aren't doing that. It's pretty notorious to see somebody take a picture with their fish next to their rod because everybody knows when you catch a big fish, the easiest way to like get a measurement on it if you don't have a tape measure on you is to put it next to your rod and then take like a piece of fishing string, measure it out, and then go home and measure that piece of string. So the fact that you can just use this rod right in the palm of your hands as a tape measure is pretty cool. You know, it's not groundbreaking, but I think it's a very small detail that they put on the rod that, you know, people look at as something really cool. I also did a little bit of testing here. I took the top reels on the market, placed them all on each one of these rods, and they feel great. The Shimano Corrado, the Abu Garcia Revo, the Daiwa Tatula. I made sure that most of the reels that people are using nowadays felt good on this rod. I put them in the palm of my hand. I tested them out. They all feel great. No matter which one you're looking to get, most of them look really slick on the Gold Series rod. And I guess at the end of the day, it's all personal preference. Some of you guys might think one looks cooler than the other, but I just wanted you guys to get a feel, you know, for what it would feel like to have a reel that you probably own, like what it looks like on the rod and what it feels like in the palm of your hand. So, alrighty, so we pretty much covered these rods, guys. I know I've had a lot to say. There's not too much you can go into detail about rods, but let's talk about the Googan squad. The biggest question I got asked was like, is it all hype? You know, are they charging way too much for these rods? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm just gonna straight up tell you because I'm a transparent person. A lot of people hate them. It's pretty crazy. You know, while I was looking up information on these rods, I literally found forums just to talk crap about these guys. I get it. Some of you guys may not like what they're doing, and that's totally fine. I mean, some people are traditional. Some people don't like change. Some people don't like their personalities because they make some money now. Here's what I think about the Googan squad straight up. I think they deserve this. Some of you guys might not get it. You know, some of you guys might not know these guys. I don't even personally know them, but I've been here for the journey. I was watching John B. God, I don't even know how long. He was the only relatable person to watch that fished like I did. He was the only one in the Midwest with the fishing conditions that I had, and he was making videos. Even though he may not have known what he was talking about the entire time, he still provided good quality content that helped me further my fishing career. And then as I got invested in him, I got invested in all these other guys, and they're busting their butt. Every single one of them busted their butt to get to where they are today. So if they wanna charge a little bit more money for their own product, or they wanna create their own product, go for it. I think they have every right to, because they busted their butt to create a movement and do something that nobody's done before. Now, the price point. I don't think these rods are too expensive. I think if you are a serious fisherman and you're looking to get into bass fishing, you're looking to really pursue this as a hobby, a career, whatever, you gotta pay the price. Like, I can't think of a rod that I own in my arsenal that's not a Googan Squad rod that is under $100, or even $100 for that matter. Most of my rods, you know, with a reel on it, cost me $300–400. And that's insane. It's a lot of money. I get it. Yeah, I know I make videos on my channel about cheaper rods because I want people just to get into the sport of fishing. But if you're serious about it and you want something quality in the palm of your hand, you're gonna pay $100 to $200 for it. For those of you who are hating on them for the price point or saying that these rods aren't worth the money, I disagree for the sole purpose that, like, there's companies out there, I'm gonna go ahead and say it, like G. Loomis, right? There's companies like that out there that are charging like $400 to $500 for a fishing rod. First off, who's got that kind of money? Second off, no matter how much I research, you can't really find, you know, why the rod costs that much. Really, you can't. You can find like what the purpose is and what model it is, but you can't find exactly why it costs that much. And truthfully, I think it's just because the brand has built enough of a name that they can charge what they want for it and people are willing to pay it. Like, that's how business works. And I don't think Googan Squad is doing that here. I think the Googan Squad is absolutely reasonable and they're getting exactly what they earned. I remember watching John B's videos. They were putting orange tape over the label of their rods because you had all these big companies, you know, helping out the professional bass fishermen. You know, they were getting rod sponsors, boat sponsors, things like that. But then when the Googan Squad reached out, you know, for the social media movement, everybody laughed at them. And they basically told him to screw off. And so what did he do? He started saying, hey, you know what? I have followers, I have fans. I'm not gonna give you promotion. I'm gonna tape it over because you don't believe in me. And then a company like Catchco or Mr. Tackle Box came along who did believe in them. And they supported them the entire way through so that they could get where they are. And I think that's huge. Fishing, honestly, in my opinion, I don't think would be as big as it is right now if it weren't for guys on the Googan Squad. I really don't. Like, they are creating a new love, a new awareness, a new hip approach towards fishing that never existed. You know, I truthfully think that these guys don't get enough credit. They get more beef than they get credit for anything. So those of you guys who wanted all the answers, I think I covered everything. If you have any more questions, leave a comment down below. I will make sure I answer it for you. Other than that, if you guys are new here, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button. It feels good to be back. I'm sorry for the long break. Videos are coming on full flat, baby. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.